Thanks, everybody. Welcome to session 22 of The Space Between. We'll start off with a recap by Pete.
Well, once we shook pursuit in the forest, Eva patched me up. Mostly. And it looks like the APC is pretty compromised. Lots of holes in any place imaginable. While she started patching up the APC, I looked for an overwatch position. The last thing we need is to be found while vulnerable. Looked like Bo was helping Eva fix the vehicle. While everyone chatted, Zeke pointed those finger guns of his at some cans for fun. Quite a bit of noise later, and maybe a prank, the discussion turned to finding out if Miss Lloyd would reveal what she knows about the attackers. From what we could piece together, these attackers seemed like a ragtag crew of bandits. Their group wasn't recognizable to any of us, and their armor was too random, too scrounged looking, to be part of a government crew. As mercenaries, they'd probably be cheap ones. What Miss Lloyd explained about the possible buyer was a bit creepy. They met in a church confessional, and the other person used some sort of voice modulator or was a VI. Sarah Lloyd said the whole meeting made her feel very uncomfortable, and she couldn't get a read on the buyer. Zeke closed his eyes and had a vision of us getting caught on the way back to the ship. We did argue about returning the vehicle, but it'll take several days to get back. The tough part will be getting back safely and avoiding those guys, if we don't teleport back early. For a while there, Cherry cleaned a pile of guns with Bo and TC3 while Sarah Lloyd drove. Eventually, she got tired of that and took a turn at driving again. I guess I'm glad I don't have to eat food now that the rations are starting to run low.
Quite true. All right. Um, yep, sounds about right. We were just getting ready to actually head out on the trip back to the city, taking the scenic route. And yeah, any last clarifications, questions?
No, I don't think so.
All right. You guys set out. And yeah, between the nav comp and the hey buddy, um, and just the driving of, I guess at this point, are we
I think mostly cherry.
okay? I think we had switched back. Then yeah, you're navigating through the forested mountainside and trying to find a way back up to higher ground. Yeah, just as a general description of the trip, it is a laborious and relatively treacherous path. The vehicle you have is well suited to the terrain, but even so, Cherry has to take care frequently to avoid getting, running into trees or getting stuck in little dips in the terrain or bottoming out, that sort of thing. And avoiding slopes too steep for the vehicle to traverse without sliding off the side. And your path takes you sometimes up the mountain, sometimes further down to get around particularly steep outcroppings and impassable stretches that uh, are part of the reason why I guess the highways took a winding and pretty circuitous route to begin with. Let's see. So let's go ahead and get the first of our skill checks for the night. Get a
Awesome.
pilot check from Cherry.
Hold on. I have a cat in my lap. my official excuse for not being signed into Roll20 yet. One moment. Meh, meh. You guys will be really proud of me though. Tonight I am actually in front of a computer.
Wow.
Don't everybody get excited at once,
Mhm.
but I am here.
I'm
I
sorry.
guess we'll have to wait to say you're excited about it until you see my roll.
It's too
'Cause you might
late.
prefer Ben rolling for me.
I had
we
to
will
mute my
also-
excitement.
LOL.
We'll also want a survive check from whoever is manning the nav comp.
Okay. That's still going to
Hey,
be an
Ben.
intelligence check, right?
Could be intelligence, could be wisdom, I think. Yes, babe.
What attribute do I use for pilot skill checks?
Either intelligence or dexterity.
Sweet.
Okay. Got a couple pretty good rolls. Very nice.
By the way, Ben, I need. Oh, never mind. You already did it. Just kidding.
Okay.
What a great GM husband I have.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so Cherry is navigating quite expertly, and despite the usual number of bumps and snags on the wilderness trek, nothing excessive, and Eva is keeping her on a good course to avoid getting any dead ends or trying any ascents that are impassable, and keeping you on a route that will avoid the highways and basically anywhere you'd expect to find any people. Let's see then. All right, I think that'll get you through the rest of that day. Are you guys kind of taking turns driving and navigating so that everybody has time to rest, or are you guys going to be stopping to let everybody rest at the same time?
Well, I'm going to say
Or something
first
else?
that Eva probably doesn't need any rest. Pete
Doesn't need any rest, huh?
doesn't need any rest. Pete's seen the side of her. She's in work mode, and she is absolutely having a thrill with this side-by-side working with Cherry. Everyone
This is
else
also known as a manic episode in sun circles.
everyone else may need rest because Eva is also telling everyone everything she knows about the local flora as we pass it.
How riveting.
Take to sleep.
I mean, you betcha. Okay, so Eva is opting to avoid rest altogether.
No, she will sleep. Just she's ready to go.
Pete can
Oh,
help
okay.
keep watch or help navigate if it's something notice based. I wouldn't recommend much else unless it's exert.
Yeah, notice that could be useful for keeping watch, not so much for navigating on the path. All right. Let's see.
Outside a question, before we go too much further here,
Mm-hmm.
was the idea of possibly rigging up a vehicle or the vehicle that we're currently in to be a remote drone. Is that a no-go from the GM?
No, I mean that's possible. You guys have done that. You guys actually did that as different characters
Oh yeah.
on the same planet.
Is that an
On
option you guys would want to do with this ATV? If so, Eva could also start working on that.
I had understood that the goal was to return the ATV, but I
Mhm.
guess you could, yeah, you could potentially do that by drone control or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that could be where the Mary Chase leads them, is just to return the ATV.
Yeah.
It was kind
Any
of a
thoughts from
last
anyone?
minute throw out, so I won't push it if anybody's if it's not really interested in anyone.
If what's not, if no one's interested in what?
Rigging up the ATV so that it could be effectively piloted as a drone by Cherry. So it kind of being an alternative to the Cherrygram or the thing just sitting there. So
Would
basically,
that include remote piloting?
well, yeah,
Perchance?
drone does Cherry have a drone control link already?
I don't think.
No.
Well, she has like a
Okay.
mini drone.
I don't know what the range would end up being then.
Yeah, I mean, you've got spare parts. Depending on what kind of range you want, it might require an additional unit of spare parts or something.
Okay. So the
I,
basic idea being, oh, sorry, do you have more, Ben?
yeah, just I was just gonna say that it's basically depending on it, whether you start going for more features or whatever, the costs might go up, or the difficulty might go up, but yeah, it's definitely possible.
Okay. So I think it looks like we're all pretty sold on the idea of driving whatever vehicle we go in up to within like 100 meters of them, have tinted windows and a dummy so that it looks like there's a silhouette behind them, and porting out. We're all good with basically driving up, taunting them, and porting into the ship, right?
Yep.
So this
I
would
think
be
that's great.
this would be kind of a variation of that, where we wouldn't switch vehicles. We would drive up, um, maybe muddy up the window so it's really hard to see inside, because I mean that's probably going to happen naturally. But basically, make it really hard to see inside. Drive up and then turn around and start driving away. But while we're driving away, we get Cherry in control of the vehicle through remote control, and we teleport over to the ship, and then Cherry remote control drives the vehicle back to uh, where it was rented, the rental. And in the process, use her henchkeeper, which she can set up in advance, to create some distractions along the way to keep them from catching up to the vehicle before it gets back to the rental. No?
I mean, I'd be okay with it. I just feel like it's a bit convoluted.
It is getting there. It definitely is getting there. I don't mind doing just driving and switching vehicles to a tinted thing and then teleporting over. It's fine.
I mean, does anybody have a problem with doing it that way? Because if no one has a problem with it, I say we just go for it.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. Well, then let's just do it that way.
All right.
Okay.
Hooray! Plan wins by silence.
I mean, I think
Okay.
there's
Silence
just
is
be sometimes
agreed.
where like if somebody wants to do something a certain way, like it's not that everybody has to be like super stoked about it, but we can let each other do things a certain way just because, yeah, I don't mind.
Mhm.
So,
All right. Yeah. As they say, what is it? Silence is complicity or something like that.
oh my.
So, all of you being silent, you know whose fault it is if things go wrong.
Fine. We do either way, it'd be fine.
That's true. This does bring us to the next question, which is, what are you all eating for this first day of travel?
Obviously, Bo's gonna hunt for us, right? Right?
That is an option.
Yeah, he could forage if that's.
I mean, he does recall that that wildlife on Urala, particularly in the mountains, is it's a little bit more sparse than his home planet, but still possible that he could scrounge up something. Oh, baby. This baby is squirming. Come on.
Is there a reasonable source of food that Zeke could have realistically brought with him?
Yeah, if he's got a point of effort, then
He has
You could
one left, so assuming he's going to get some rest before we actually get where we're going.
yeah, that's the plan. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Plausible given. Okay, any one object. Yeah, so yeah, like a unit of rations would certainly be plausible that he could have brought.
So not like a smoked hog.
No, that doesn't.
Okay.
For one, I don't think that's particularly plausible. But also, that does.
So one unit of rations would be literally just enough food for one person, right?
Yeah, for a day. Let me. Yeah, food and water.
Doesn't feel like a good use of that.
I mean, the effort will go to waste. If the effort's going to go to waste anyway,
I guess that's true.
Um,
Yeah, he packed a ration.
Alrighty. Yeah, sounds good. Okay. What did it? Okay. So yeah, I forgot off you, but that's a ration for Zeke. Yeah, if Bo's gonna hunt, that'll take some time with the vehicle stopped and getting a survive wisdom check from Bo. Ooh. Not looking so good. Well, yeah, so Bo takes a while, and quite thoroughly combs the surrounding forest, but is unable to find anything of any real substance. He does scrounge up a a handful of herbs and a couple mushrooms that look like they are probably safe to eat. But all the wildlife has evaded him. So yeah, I guess after a good while, he realizes that he's not going to have any luck. Calls it quits. Comes back to the vehicle.
So Cherry specifically brought an extra bag for sugary snacks and trail mix, but she did not bring rations.
Lol.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I guess trail mix could count as rations, but she mostly got it because it had like bits of chocolate in it.
An extra bag. Are we talking like you saying like a backpack full of trail mix and
Yeah.
stuff? Or are you saying like
Like a specific backpack full of sugary candies and trail mix.
Okay.
But it was literally just as like, oh, haha, we're going on a fun road trip, not as like we're going to be out in the desert and needing to survive on this.
Yeah.
Would you like me to roll for like how many bags of trail mix versus like how many bags of space gummy worms she has?
No, I don't think I really want to get that granular with something like that.
Okay.
But I would say that would give you some small bit of help on staving off the hunger.
The hunger.
Yes. Hmm. What I think I'm going to need here. Yeah, I was trying to think about. There's not really a good way to modify.
Can Pete try
Um,
looking for an animal that's edible with notice while they're driving? Back up Bo with that maybe somehow. I don't know.
That would have been a good idea for helping Bo with his survive check, but I'd say the moment has passed. Maybe on the next day's hunt. Let's see. Okay, I think what we're going to do. I can find.
What we're gonna do is store.
Yeah, I think the way to go is, I'd say that Cherry, if Cherry wants to polish off her bag of trail mix and stuff, I'd say that could tide her over for the day, or she could give if she doles it out, she could give everybody a little modifier to their saves here.
Yeah, she would dole it out.
Okay.
After Bo comes back and looks kind of sad.
All right. So yeah, she digs in her in her pack and pulls out little bags of trail mix and candies and starts dividing them up and basically rationing them. But yeah, there's pretty much there's enough to kind of take the edge off for one day, but it wouldn't really even last you beyond that. So all right. With that done, everybody go ahead and give me a physical saving throw.
No.
I assume not Pete.
Yeah, except of course for the
He's not
robots.
part of everybody on that.
Right. Yeah, you can just know anybody.
That sounds biased.
uh,
Oh
Yeah.
no.
oh boy,
That's not good.
man, Bo. Bo can't just be sustained on a little trail mix. At least not today. Not with all his exertion. All right. Yeah, I was checking. Okay, I was gonna say you've already. Pete has even had the benefit of some extra help getting his health back.
Hmm?
All right, so Eva saved hers. Let's see. Where's the skill sheet? I forgot to pull up. I'll get hers in a minute. Looks like though. Okay, so Cherry and Zeke are both they both actually pass, given the trail mix that they were able to consume. Bo, however, is still feeling the intense pangs of hunger, and so he is going to take.
And
his-
before you, can Eva give him more of hers?
Nah, unfortunately not.
Okay.
Already ate it. Really pepped her up, actually.
Didn't notice how bad Bo was doing. She'll feel bad about it later.
Yeah. So yeah, Bo will take an additional system strain. Wait, buddy.
All that
And
effort from going hunting and not succeeding.
yeah, that'll do it. Okay.
Yeah, I thought Zeke had the
And-
rations. From Sense and Need?
Oh, that's true. He did. So he didn't even need to make that save. Yeah, I forgot all about that. All right. Let's see. So we passed the night. I guess I didn't quite get an answer. Or if I did, I got distracted from it by Eva's. Oh, I don't need to rest. That was not actually
Sorry.
not resting. Did you guys decide to stop for the night so everybody rests, or are we going to try to do some kind of driving and navigating rotation?
Yeah, I think we should rest. Eva decides we stop and rest.
Yeah, probably for the
Mm.
best.
Cherry would have been ready to guzzle down some gummy worm packages to stay awake, but if we're stopping to rest, then she'll hold off.
All right. Ethan, that's from Worlds with that number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, yeah. So the first day is just is not gaining any additional.
Although you were being generous by letting people roll to avoid the effects, because he just says straight up happens.
Yeah. I was gonna say I felt like for the first night that was. I wanted to get that, especially considering that there were some snacks to be passed around. But yeah, I think past that I was going to stick with the the other parts of it. Not recovering stuff, since starving doesn't really lend one towards recovering physically.
Mhm.
Okay, but what we end up with is that everyone, except for Bo, does regain their level and hit points for the night and recover 1 system strain. Sweet. I don't know what keeps setting off my mic. Supposedly got my noise suppression on, so I don't know what's going on.
Keep hearing
Anyway.
the Discord ding sound.
Really, through mine?
I don't know if it's through yours. I haven't been looking at the thing. I just keep hearing it, and then
Oh, okay.
like I just heard it, and then you said I don't know what keeps setting off my mic. So it seemed
Got you.
to follow.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to keep an eye. All right. Well then, next day goes. Let's get our days. Let's get a pilot check. We get a survive from our navigator.
Can my notice help the navigator?
Let's say, would you like to help the navigator or would you like to help the hunter?
Okay, help the hunter.
Yeah.
All right. Then yeah, go ahead and do your notice check. See if Bo gets a +1 there.
Notice with wisdom.
Yes.
Hey, that's an 8.
Oh wow. Got a 7.
Okay, that's a partial success for Pete.
Do I need to reroll
Partial
that for
success. Man.
For Eva, yes, you do.
Eva? Okay. Go ahead and reroll that. Well, it's higher.
Oh yeah, and you probably didn't have the +1 from the Navcom, so that actually does get you to the threshold there.
Oh, the 8 does the reroll.
Yes, the
Oh,
reroll
fantastic.
would have been a 9, which passes for you.
Cool.
Danielle, a pilot check from Cherry.
All right.
And
She said 3
Oh.
packages of gummy worms, and she said, "Let's go."
oh man, yeah, and I'll need a Bo survival check with wisdom. With a modifier of 1. Oh, bummer. Rolling poorly there.
Bo hasn't had meat in far too long. Lack of protein to his brain is affecting his body.
Yeah, it's dragging him down. All right.
Do you think Zeke could sense the need for some beef jerky?
Oof.
Can he do that? Just like keep sensing the need for more food?
I will need to. Yeah, I think. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You will need to be. I don't remember how many credits it is. You will need to be subtracting the cost of a unit of rations each time you do that.
I did not do that last time.
Yeah, I figured should probably get the reminder. Because yeah, you're not You're not magicking stuff into existence. You're just retconning the fact that you already bought it or
Oh man,
acquired.
he should totally be allowed to magic
Only-
things into existence.
It's only 5
He's got
credits.
finger guns.
Isn't that basically what, like, he can just TK some food?
Oh, no, Arcus. Here we go.
Yeah, that would be an interesting biopsionics technique, but unfortunately not.
But we digress.
So, I mean, you do have, I don't know what, like 4 points of effort in a day? I mean, you could use all 4 of them.
How many more days will it take to get to where we're going?
It depends a little bit. Looks-
Oh,
the
More
route.
regular than one?
Sorry, come again?
he's
Yeah,
Greater
definitely more
than-
than more than one. The route that Eva has plotted looks like it's going to be 4 more days.
Oh,
only useful GM answers are appreciated here, Ben.
okay. So he could definitely just alternate outcome, or not alternate out, sense the need for 4 rations a day until we get there. That doesn't feel wrong.
Eventually, we're going to start asking, where the heck is he getting it?
Right.
Or keeping it, I
He
mean.
can see the future. I mean, he might have just low key in a dream.
Sorry,
So
I
we
meant
need
I
to-
meant that in character, as the characters being incredulous of, where the hell were you keeping all this?
Why didn't you give it to us sooner? And he can be like, you didn't need it yet.
You know, just some like, what do we go land on? Forbidden psionic technique, pocket dimension thing, wave hand.
He sensed the need in his sleep, so he didn't even realize these things were packed.
It would
in
actually
until
be
the day
really
of.
funny if he did it while he was like sleepwalking, like he'd hidden the food throughout the camper. And so like he doesn't even really know where it is. He just wakes up with it in his hands and he's like, oh yeah, I needed
Does
this.
he get the effort when he falls asleep or wakes up? Because I feel like that makes or breaks that idea.
I would say when he falls asleep is when he like uses it and then he gets the new effort, right? Because that's when it gets back to him. I
Right,
thought that
well,
was when he removed his effort.
when he wakes up,
You've
he
got-
doesn't have the effort, so he
Yeah.
can't sleepwalk.
Yeah, you've got timey-wimey stuff. Your efforts in the present reach back in time.
Okay,
Can
somehow
tell you
he
sleepwalk.
thought to pack at least 4 more rations that you know of. Wait,
Only 4.
is that so? That's 4 effort.
Yeah, it's 4 effort.
That's all the effort for the day.
All right, and he produces 4 units of ration.
Someone is trying to open our door, our front door.
Our front door.
It definitely just sounded like someone's trying to open our front door.
That's weird. You sure it wasn't the
Yeah.
kids upstairs? Okay, hold
Might
on.
want to check
Definitely.
that.
Please check that.
You may want to check that.
I can take the baby if you come downstairs. I think he's already gotten up.
Yeah, surely.
I'm just gonna check that the back door is locked real quick.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
make sure all the doors are locked.
That back door is locked.
Y'all have the fence up in the backyard yet?
No. Hey,
That's just kind of
so
creepy.
it just sounded like you know how the weather stripping sounds when someone's opening the door? Like you know the like crackle
Okay,
sound,
yeah,
the
yeah.
loud cracking sound, that's what sound it made, like someone had pushed against the door.
Okay.
And it also sounded like the doorknob had started to turn, but like it's locked. So
Maybe turn the lights on outside if you have it.
we keep them on.
I got you.
Ben's telling me to be quiet.
Why would you be quiet? I'd be loud so they know I'm there. And awake.
Well,
He's looking out the window right now.
You're probably fine now.
Yeah, we're probably fine at this point. I mean, it might have even been somebody who just had the wrong house, like going to visit their friend or something, and like went, "Oh, this door's locked." Oh,
Yeah.
I only said something because it sounded like someone was trying to push the door open, like somebody was trying to walk in.
yeah.
Okay. Well, nobody's
Yeah.
there, so we're good. I think.
Always
Ben's
take
still
that
looking out
thing
the door.
seriously. You never want it to be the time you don't take it seriously that there's a problem.
Oh yeah, for sure. We had actually in my hometown where my parents still live, there's been a series of people literally just walking into homes because they'll just check to see if the door's unlocked. Thankfully
That's
it
not good.
hasn't. Yeah, thankfully it hasn't like escalated to anything terrible because once they see somebody's home, they just walk back out. But people have been having lots of break-ins, and it's like, oh, they left their house unlocked. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Sometime off stream, I should tell you about when me and Alyssa lived in Mobile.
oh
That-
boy,
It did escalate.
Ooh.
Almost as much as it can escalate.
okay, thank you, babe. Okay, I have Noah in the pack and play. He's asleep. Thank you. Super dad got the baby to sleep and checked that we weren't getting broken into.
Woo!
I also was like kind of freaked out the longer Ben was taking to come downstairs because I'm set up literally right next to the back door. So we have like curtains covering our back door because it's just like a sliding glass door. And I
Oh.
was like, I'm just going to check this is locked too, real quick.
Yeah, good call.
No pressure, Brad. You got to finish that fence.
Yep. Oh boy. Okay. Try to get my head back in the game here.
All right. So you were on our Trail of Tears death march. Sorry, road trip.
Mm-hmm.
We just found a pocket dimension full of food.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't recall there being any limit to the uses of that beyond just like plausibility. Sorry, what was
What?
that?
I have no idea what that was.
I don't know. Somebody said something.
Ben, did Iris go outside?
I don't think so. I think I kept all the cats inside.
It definitely sounds like Iris is climbing the screen
She
door.
definitely could have slipped out. I was slightly distracted.
Sorry, Iris, I'm not letting you in right now.
Yeah, she can just stay out there.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah, so I think you guys are pretty good. Go ahead and give me mental saves from everyone.
Cherry has heard about one flora or fauna too many.
And Eva
At
has
this
run
point-
out of flora and fauna.
What's funny is I feel like those roles, for the most part, are fairly fitting. So yeah, I'll say that the strain of the close quarters and stress of their situation wears more heavily on some of the group than others. Everyone who failed is going to take another system strain.
I see what you did there. You made it a mental saving throw so that Pete would take system strain.
Oh, you make it sound like I intentionally crafted the scenario in which you guys have found yourselves to make it taxing to a
Cough,
robot.
cough. Cough, cough. Yeah, of course it is. Watching his best friend starve to death and he can't do anything to stop it.
What?
Um,
No way.
yeah, though Zeke does once again, after another discouraging failed hunt, this time with Pete trying to help, he does produce 4 ration packs, and he is a little fuzzy on the details of exactly where he was keeping them, and why he didn't mention them sooner. Unless, I don't know, does Avery, do you think Zeke has an explanation that he'd
I
give
feel
for
like
that?
4 rations, it's still reasonable that he was somehow carrying them.
Oh, okay, that he just kind of forgot they were in his backpack or something.
So yeah, at this point, he's gonna kind of hand wave and hint at the fact that he just had him in his backpack.
All right.
This will get harder to explain the longer it takes to get.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I say Ms. Lloyd is definitely seems to be fraying around the edges with the combination of the wilderness isolation and also the cramped quarters of the vehicle.
Are we able to make the 4 ration packs split between the 5 of us easily enough? Or should I have not have said anything?
No, I was gonna say that those will definitely only cover 4 people. I was assuming that you guys were going to prioritize the party, at least for the first.
I mean, Zeke would have had a
Day.
full ration the day before, right? Like,
Yeah. Does he want to give his to Sarah Lloyd?
yeah, I think he'll bite the bullet for the day and just maybe a little bit out of guilt for not sharing that he had all these rations.
Eva will share hers with Zeke.
Okay. All right, then yeah, let's have Zeke and Eva both take a physical save. All right, so Zeke will gain a system strain.
Ben giveth and he taketh away.
Yeah, and so let's see. That then puts everyone except for Zeke recovering hit points equal to their level, recovering 1 system strain, and recovering effort.
So Zeke doesn't recover any of that, or
Correct.
oof,
Hmm.
miscalculated.
The risk I took was calculated. Unfortunately, I'm bad at math.
Admittedly, had I known that that was an outcome, he would have been more stingy. But alas,
Is it too late
Got to
to?
bring the cool factor.
It's all right. You starve and learn.
Alright.
Or that came out much more like mean than I intended the starve and learn. I was like, oh, that's like an easy play on live and learn. Like, oh, wait,
I can
that's
live with the consequences.
it's kind of
Except you die.
dark. All right, so I'm leaving it
Ben's
to
like, all
everybody
right, I got my evil laughter out. Back to the game.
to track their their recovery of various things. I think pretty much everybody they've probably recovered their hit points for the most part at this point.
I'm still down a couple.
All right. But then let's see. For next day, let's get our round of skill checks again. Who is helping with any of those actions before we do the actual rolls?
Zeke is now starving. He wants to help hunt.
All right. How do you think Zeke would help with the hunting?
Well, without any effort, not well.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was about to say, oh, maybe he could use telekinesis or something. And I was like, oh wait, nope, he can't actually do any of that.
I guess he's proficient at teleportation. So maybe if Bo can help him find it and get him close enough, he doesn't actually have to expend any effort to just pop close enough to grab something.
Or maybe pop close enough to scare something toward Bo.
True. Yeah. 10 meters.
I guess it depends on the prey. Like if it's small game, I feel like he'd just grab it.
Yeah,
For the
I'd
carrying
say.
connection.
fair.
But if it's a space badger,
Okay. Yeah, I think that's enough to justify a teleportation skill check with wisdom to aid in the hunting.
ooh,
Wow.
Nice. Yeah. That'll net Bo a modifier for his survive check. And then let's get a pilot from Cherry, a navigate from Eva.
There we go.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
You can re-roll that if you want, right?
Yeah, I think I
And
will.
Pete helped Cherry with a notice, or is that not enough?
It actually wouldn't be enough
I'll
anyway.
re-roll it.
Okay, that'll do it.
Also, Ben, when should Eva start working on rigging up the vehicle? Or were we? Is it something that she can do fast enough to do to a new vehicle, or should she be working on it this entire time on this vehicle?
I'd say it's something that she could accomplish in a handful of hours.
Oh, okay. So I guess then that just leaves the question of, do we want to use this vehicle for the stunt, or do we want to play switcheroo? If we use this vehicle, we can just drive into town, get our burgers, and then pull our stunt.
I do need a survive check from Bo with a modifier of 1.
Can I lobby for a shoot skill?
Yeah, I think that's. I think I'd allow that. I think still with wisdom.
ooh, buddy.
All right, that'll do it. Okay.
I want to hear how this plays out.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think this sounds like the combination of Bo's sharpshooting with Zeke's. I don't know. I think some combination of his ability to appear suddenly different places, with some sudden noise, being able to startle and confuse some of the some small wildlife. And yeah, I think also enables Zeke to get up into some otherwise pretty hard to reach spots and startle out a mountain goat, which Bo handily brings down, netting you a good little haul for the day. And yeah, you guys even managed to Bo spots a couple bird's nests that Zeke is able to get up to easily enough. Get some eggs. You got a veritable feast on your hands. So Bo cooks up everybody a nice, I guess a few goat omelets? Question mark.
If we found some grains, he could make meat pies.
Here we go.
Oh man, little goat pies. I like it. All right, so let's see. Yeah, Cherry averted disaster, narrowly avoiding a small rock slide that the ATV set off, but with some expert and frantic driving, manages to get out of the danger zone in time at no more cost than some elevated heart rates. All right, I think now we are down to. Let's see. That'll get. Yeah, I'd say the foraging gets everyone enough food to subsist on for the day, and they were also able to find a source of fresh water, so everybody's good to go for rest for the night. Everybody's able to recover normally.
Woohoo.
So for Zeke, that means he loses loses system strain and gets his effort back.
And if we still have at least one night of rest before we get there,
Mm-hmm.
he might mysteriously have more rations that he didn't share yesterday.
All right,
In the
yeah.
lining of the ATV walls.
Yeah, we've got
You could honestly just have it be that like he hides them in everybody's bags and then they find them.
Oh, Santa Claus.
He found them.
yeah, I was considering that a little bit. I think so far it's been fine, but yeah, it is certainly beginning to strain the plausibility of having stashed them somewhere that nobody would have looked yet. Because that
I'm
gets a little
imagining he like taped him up in the wheel well like a drug run.
bit.
It's a very reasonable thing to do.
No, it's just yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta
really?
keep your lucky charms safe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
when you
just
just-
all
Fella's
the
got to
time.
eat a fella.
when you just state it with zero justification at all, I'm just inclined to believe you.
He read the manual of our rental, and it said there was a false bottom. So
Hate it when you find a false bottom, usually, but this time I'm very happy.
Oh man. Um. All right. Let's see then.
we're not feeding Miss Lloyd. Not falling
Eva's
for it again.
feeding Ms. Lloyd. But don't we have goat this tonight?
Yeah, didn't the goat go around?
Yeah, no. This day is taken care of. I think.
You mean next
Avery was
Thursday?
thinking ahead.
Yeah,
Okay.
Avery was taking that my statement to mean
Mhm.
okay that day is done. You guys
Yeah, I
get your
thought that was
rest.
it. That was food for that day. I didn't realize.
Yeah, no, he got his rest. It's a new day.
He's still gonna make 4 more rations for the next day.
All right, go ahead.
Argo,
Let's
get
see
off
here.
of my baby. Stop.
Trying to
Sorry, the
think what
cat
would
is
be-
climbing on top of Noah in my lap.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Trying to think
Cherry
of
is really feeling the strain.
trying to think of a plausible a good skill check to potentially assess the plausibility of Zeke having stashed even more rations.
Precognition, wisdom.
Yep, sounds good enough to me.
I think probably a
Oh,
sneak
Noah,
check.
no. Argo, I hate your guts so much.
I'd
right now.
allow a sneak with wisdom.
Not precog because it's like a skill of. All right.
I guess precognition does have to do with foresight. I kind of feel like that's double dipping. You're already using the precognition techniques
It's
to
putting
have
up a chance. There could be blowback from this. I could waste all of my effort.
Is there any chance we make it back to town this day?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you could say I'd allow you to use a point of effort to do Oracle and guarantee that you'd, foreseen how and where to hide rations so that they would nobody would get into them until the day they were needed, and so you could guarantee yourself 3 units of rations.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'll be a skill check to see whether you manage to have stashed any at all.
Yeah, if you're gonna want to do sneak, then I'm gonna go that route.
Okay. All right, then I'd say in that case, yeah, wheel wells are definitely on the table for the day's 3 ration packs. So yeah, give me, let's see, we've got Cherry re-rolled and passed the pilot check. Anybody
But she's
helping
very
with-
cranky, so sorry about that.
Anybody gonna help with the navigation?
Eva's gonna do it. I'm just typing right now. Oh,
Okay.
helping with it? Yeah.
Noah, don't touch the buttons on my
I
keyboard.
would say, does Eva even allow
What are you doing?
the
Sh-
assistance?
Yes, she would, but it feels like more assistance is needed for the hunt, and Eve is more. I mean, it's not like Eve gets to decide who helps.
Yeah, but at least in character, she's somewhat resistant to somebody spending their time helping her.
I wouldn't say that she's resistant. She's probably actually more inviting than resistant because she is the stress is getting to her.
Yeah, I got
That's
you.
kind of what I was typing out there.
So Pete, I guess Robert, what do you think? Would Pete be helping Bo or Eva?
I think if Eva is working on the directions, he would just trust her with that automatically and know that everybody needs to eat, especially Eva. So
Okay.
he'd be helping Bo.
All right, and I asked that. It occurs to me Zeke could also be helping if he'd like to help somebody, unless he's also content to let Eva handle the navigation.
I
I
don't
mean,
know how he narratively would help.
Okay,
That.
that's fair. But yeah,
Unless
So
he
for-
like could get really high in a tree and look around.
teleport for reconnaissance.
And like 10 meters, 10 meters high.
I mean I would say 10 meters every 6 seconds or something. I mean that's not an inconsequential amount of jumping around.
I mean, sure.
Especially up in a tree. Yeah, I'd allow it. So yeah, let's get the help checks from Zeke and Pete.
And Pete used stab to throw his knife at an animal to try to kill it?
Yeah,
Or do I just go with notice?
yeah, I'll allow it.
Boop.
Ooh.
All right, double
Nat
sixes,
12.
baby. Very nice. So
Nice.
yeah, that's definitely so that's a modifier of 1 for both the navigation survive check and the hunting survive check, or whichever check. I think I'd still allow Bo to use a shoot check. All right. Everybody has passed as they can this time. So yeah, Pete and Bo work together, and they collect a handful of squirrels and a couple of jackrabbits, and even one plump bird. As today they were in a bit more densely populated part of the forest. And perhaps that was in part due to Eva's navigation, trying to put them in places that aren't quite so barren on their way toward the city. As they're basically making a long, tortuous arc around some of these cliff and rocky outcroppings that are parts of the mountainside, aiming towards a relatively accessible slope to the plateau. And
Dex, I left.
Oh my goodness,
roll
I
20
see
for
it.
you.
Give me 5 minutes here, guys.
Okay, yeah, you're good. So Avery, as Zeke was Zeke's been popping around, trying to help add some some visual reconnaissance to Eva's digital navigation.
Yeah, he's looking for the tallest tree or tallest tower.
Yeah, unfortunately, doesn't come across any towers out here, but does find a decent number of trees that he can zip up to the top of with some careful selection of branches. Oh, I hear a little baby.
No.
And
No.
the question though is, as Bo returns from his hunt,
Hey, you just
Um,
can't play with my
I say
keyboard.
Bo and Pete return from their hunt, carrying a couple double handfuls worth of dead animals and some greenery to boot.
You cannot have this.
What does he do with the about the rations that he's stashed in the wheel well?
That there are 3 more of them, and this is it. Don't look in the other wheel wells.
All right.
Nobody does look in the other wheel wells, right?
Jerry is not interested in questioning where the magical food source is coming from.
Yeah. Not gonna ruin your magic trick.
Alrighty then.
You guys are gonna lose it tomorrow.
All right then. Yeah, everybody. There are a few rations, and then between those and the small game that Pete and Bo have hunted up, everyone is able to get a enough sustenance for the day, as well as rest. But it is time for another mental save.
She doesn't know that Bo reads any of those yet.
He quoted him.
He didn't quote any, did
Pulchritudinous.
I think in just a conversation with Eva.
Yeah. Plus, he
All right,
quoted it
whatever.
ironically.
Retcon it,
Dude.
Mr. Closet Jennifer Moons reader.
Oh, I was gonna say, firmly in the closet.
Hide this for as long as he can.
My word. The longer you hide it, the more Cherry will make you regret it when it comes to light.
Say, shut and locked.
I'm up for swapping that mental save with Eva if her getting to talk about a Jennifer Moons novel saves her.
It doesn't.
I feel like it would break Cherry.
Oh man.
No, I'm writing the save into this.
All right. Well, that one is 2 system strain for Pete and for Eva.
All right.
1 or 2.
I guess just add 1 if
Okay.
you're
That puts
if you're
me
at
at 2.
none, because you're gonna recover 1 for the night
Okay.
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
So
So we gain
Yeah,
2, and then we're gonna recover 1.
yeah. Right. And
Wilderness. Okay, let's fix that.
Wilderness.
All right. Zeke gets a vague feeling of someone having walked over his grave, but the moment passes.
That's disturbing.
Um,
There you go, Danielle.
Okay.
You asked for it.
Yes.
So he's had lots of premonitions of various sorts, and this doesn't quite rise to the level of any one of those. But every now and then, precog just kind of gets a weird feeling of having the lines of probability having diverged just enough that didn't require any direct intervention. And the day dawn, the sun rises on the last day. All goes as planned. Last full day of travel before you'll be arriving at the outer city limits.
Um,
So this is the final ascent.
Dawn of the final day.
so we do not need additional rations this time. We have food for today.
I think it'd
Uh,
probably be best to save your efforts today.
Yeah.
What do you mean you have food for the day already?
Well, yesterday we had a goat, but we made
Sure.
rations for the next day, today, right?
So you had 3 rations, and then a few bunnies and a couple bunnies and some squirrels. Sounded like you guys were using the rations to cover that, and then what you hunted up
Oh,
covered the other people who didn't have rations.
I
Hmm.
thought that the hunt. I didn't get the impression that the hunting was not enough to feed everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess.
it was clear to me that the food was sufficient and that the rations were for the following day. But
Yeah.
I got that same impression, but I think it's just interpretation. Tell
Well,
us
my
which one it is.
apologies. Yeah, I didn't. Guess I didn't. I didn't maybe explicitly say that there wasn't quite enough wildlife to rustle up. I think I left that implied too vaguely.
I still think
Well,
it's okay
we'll roll
because
with it.
if we're expecting to make it into the city today, even if we get there hungry, we're already looking forward to those burgers.
well, it sounds like this is our next. Like we have a full day of travel still.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
This is the last full day, and then you'll
So I
Yeah,
think
arrive essentially first thing in the morning
I
Zeke
see.
definitely needs
or in the
to
middle of the
have
night.
one of these rations that comes out of the other wheel well. But um, you know, could
Okay.
get the
Um,
effort back. It
I
sounds
mean,
like to me.
you can certainly wait and see how the hunting goes for the day.
Mm,
It is going to be a little bit more sparse, being closer to the city, but it's still possible. Okay, so let's go ahead and get do just for the sake of simplicity. We want to keep with the same pairings of the helps.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Um, well, actually, let me take a step back. At this point, you guys don't actually really need more navigation with at this point the nav comp route is straightforward enough that doesn't really require any special effort.
Okay.
But the driving, the piloting will be a bit tougher, as well with the hunting.
Then can Eva switch to trying to be more helpful to Cherry? If the driving's gonna be tougher
Mhm.
by again using the nav comp, but try instead of trying to use it to navigate us back to the city, trying to use it to find better navigation routes specifically for the driving.
Yeah, just make it slightly easier, avoiding the worst parts of the ascent. Yeah,
So
sure.
for my pilot role, do I need to change anything or is it just a higher
It's going to be a
number I
little
need to get?
higher. Yeah, but you're getting a help from Eva.
I'll roll that
Okay.
first.
I also put something for Eva to read.
Yep, I see it. It looks like we're playing an escalation war of who can type more.
That's all right.
Um, let's say
I'm re-rolling.
okay, I was gonna say Eva's also gonna need to re-roll for help
Oh, really? Wow.
if she wants to. Yeah.
Well, that's not good then.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, Danielle
Cherry
sort of jumped the
is
gun,
going to
so
begrudgingly going to pull over if this doesn't go well. And she will, well, I'll see if Eva gets the role she needs to help Cherry.
well, I would say at this point it's a little bit
Impossible.
It wouldn't help, yeah, because if I
I'd
didn't
say
succeed at helping you on a 10, succeeding on helping you would give you a +1, which would get you to a 10.
Gotcha.
yeah.
So,
I would say it's impossible,
okay.
and also generally late. Usually supposed to roll the help check before the actual check, just to avoid stuff like that. But
Anyway.
so yeah.
All right. So Cherry is definitely looking like she has not gotten enough sleep. Her eyes are kind of red. And after really struggling to keep the van, I guess, on the straight and narrow,
Yeah,
and she's gonna, after a while, she's gonna stop and put it in park. And she looks at the wheel for a bit, and then she's gonna kind of curse under her breath, and then she's gonna unbuckle and get up and go to the back. And where is Sarah Lloyd?
well, I think helpful context for this scene would be the actual circumstances that drove her to give up the driver's seat, um, which would be the failed pilot check here. You were sort of getting ahead of me there, but we can certainly come back to this moment after we flash back to the treacherous ascent.
Oh, great.
And, yeah, so basically this is it's a more open terrain at this point, though still fairly steep. And Eva's directed Cherry along a path that looks even enough, and looks like it should be manageable. But unbeknownst to either of them, they come across a patch that is looser soil, not quite as firmly rooted, and the weight of the vehicle combined with the slope puts you all into a fairly treacherous slide. And though the vehicle is designed to withstand this well, the vehicle is going to come out relatively well. The crew is going to get tumbled a bit as the vehicle goes through a single roll.
Oh,
But Cherry is able to correct the course after doing the single roll, getting the slide under control, and applying the brakes at the right angle to bring everything to a halt. Everybody give me evasion saves.
ironically, Eva's best
Wow.
save.
I haven't succeeded on a single save yet.
I'm gonna
Oh,
guess
no.
she was in like shotgun seat or something and saw it coming, so she
Uh,
was.
I want to put it.
Shoot.
I want to put it to Eva is smart and has her seatbelt buckled because that's why her evasion save is so high, is because of her intelligence.
Well, I had already said that Cherry was buckled from getting ahead of Ben, but
You want to say that the nav comp slips out of Eva's clumsy fingers and hits Cherry?
yeah, right in the side of the head.
So I say there's plenty
Cherry
of loose
sees
stuff.
stars for a second,
Oh man.
blackening stars. She feels like they're making another jump, but they're not on the ship.
Oh no. And through being dazed, she is still able to kind of instinctively compensate for the erratic motion and the going the direction she doesn't want it to go and bring it to a stop. Yeah, let's see. Okay, this is gonna be
Yeah, just like that,
do
Noah.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, it's really high for that.
Yeah, it
let's see.
is.
So,
That's gonna kill Zeke.
so the people who saved take half damage.
Oh, no.
Everybody else
Zeke
takes
got
the
7 health.
So
Oh,
Cherry just got like blunt force
14.
trauma from the nav
Yeesh.
computer.
It's got like brained. Oh man.
So that leaves her with 3 hit points.
oh, goodness.
If Zeke hadn't saved there, he would be dead.
Yeah, Sarah Lloyd is also hanging on by a thread.
No, are you kidding me?
Is it too late to alternate outcome this?
You could alternate outcome, I think, for one person.
Mhm.
If you wanted to. Try it for yourself or one of the others who failed. Oh wait, did
Zeke
Zeke saved? Yeah, so you could do it for one of the 3 that failed. Going once, going twice.
I don't know.
Go for someone squishier than Pete.
Why don't you roll 1d2?
Oh, to decide between Sarah Lloyd or Cherry.
All right.
Yeah.
Cherry is 1.
All right. Awesome.
Oh, he said before rolling a 2.
All right. So
Right, so
yeah.
she gets. Does that give her a reroll?
It
Wait.
reroll, take a higher result.
Okay.
Did you say Cherry is 1 or Cherry has 1?
Cherry is 1.
Oh well. Rip.
Unless you want it, fate decided.
Nobody
No,
gets
you
it.
did.
Well, unfortunately,
wasted.
Zeke looked into the future, trying to spare your client some pain
Next
and
time,
one push
spare your
trauma to the head.
teammate instead of your client.
Yeah, this is me not paying attention. You were a 10 to save. She was a 14.
But alas, he could find no probability in the future that didn't get Sarah Lloyd tossed around. So still got pretty beat up. Yeah, no. So Cherry brings the vehicle to a stop, as you'd described, and unbuckles and is looking for Sarah Lloyd.
And she is bleeding from her head.
Yeah, and Sarah Lloyd is looks like she broke free of her seatbelt and the seat she'd been in, and is picking herself up off the floor of the ATV in the back.
Looking at the broken belt restraint, Cherry's gonna turn, and over her shoulder she'll say, "Hey Eva, I don't think you're getting anybody's getting a deposit back on this. Also, did you pack a med kit in this thing?"
Eva does not have a med kit. She does, however, go make sure that all of her tools are properly arranged, well, properly contained within her toolkit, including the things that she took out of Carrie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Sarah is trying to extract herself from a tangled pile of peat,
So Cherry
TC
would help her.
Berry, and Eva's toolkit.
Cherry would be trying to help her.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess Eva would try to help too by
Yeah.
moving her toolkit.
I say it's a group effort to all sort everything out, get everyone up on their feet, and assess the damage.
No, I don't have a med kit in here. But this is an ATV. It should have a med kit on it, right? And Eva will search the ATV for a med kit.
I guess Bo will offer his dose of lift that he had, but he doesn't have the healing ability necessary to apply it.
Oh yeah. I don't think any of us do we?
Lift just takes heal 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Either Sarah Lloyd or Zeke would definitely have it.
Okay.
I don't remember if Cherry has that. I don't think she does.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah, I thought, for some reason, I thought Bo did have heal, but I guess not.
Yeah, I thought I did. I think I'd push that back to next level.
Got you. Well,
Zeke's heal
Yeah.
0.
yeah, so Zeke could apply it, or so could Sarah.
Well, there we
and,
go. So, who are we recovering?
Good question. I would guess probably Cherry.
Yeah.
Seemed like she took the biggest hit of the fleshy crew. Sarah Lloyd took a hard hit, but she's not crew.
It's 50%. It's fine.
Which, yeah, incidentally, spare parts could be used for him. I don't know how Eva's doing on spare parts at this point.
Well, she's conserving because we're not anywhere near a source of spare parts, but we're
Yeah.
good for now. She's still got 4 units.
Yeah, I get you. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and note it's gonna take at least 2 spare parts to do the to rig up a vehicle with drone control for remote driving. Could potentially take a third if she wants to do anything extra with it. Like, particularly long range or whatever. Okay. Yeah. Ethan, I guess it's up to Bo who's gonna get the dose. I'm assuming Cherry.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll then. I don't remember what a dose of lift is.
Mason's the applying person. 1d8 plus their heal skill.
Oh, okay. So it would be Seek. Let's say Sarah Lloyd has a heal 1. So if she applies it, you'll get an extra 1 hit point out of it. I think she would pipe up, being in pretty rough shape, but she would say, I've got some field medic training. If you need someone to apply some lift. Is that what somebody said? She looks a little dazed.
Cherry, after helping Sarah Lloyd up, had actually sat down on the ground or on the floor of the van,
Okay.
RV, whatever we're calling this thing.
Right. So yeah, Sarah's looking she's looking between Zeke and Bo. She knows she heard somebody say something about lift, but she looks slightly disoriented.
Yeah, Bo will hand over the EpiPen looking container of lift.
All right, so yeah, Sarah gets all the way to her feet, takes it, and she works, preps it, gets it out of the packaging and poised to inject, and then she goes and finds Cherry. She's sitting outside on the ground.
Basically in the doorway of the camper.
Okay. All right, then, yeah, she goes over and says, all right, Cherry, Bo had this, looks like you need it the most, so, you done one of these before?
I don't really know what you mean. I don't, like, have I given it to anyone or has someone else done it to me?
She kind of waggles the the little applicator. Looks, yeah, I'd say EpiPen is a good descriptor of it. She's now had it used on you.
Oh, I can't really remember having one used on me before.
Okay, well, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much. I mean, it's not bad. It's really pretty painless. Just a small pinch, but within a few minutes, you start feeling the drugs do their work. And
She leans against the door frame and she goes, "Are you always this gentle with your patients?"
Just, she seems a little caught off guard by that. I'm just trying to explain what it does. She has blinked a couple more times than normal during the course of that conversation. But she says no, but it's she starts to she keeps describing, and then basically without any warning at all, just while she's describing it, she starts to say something along the lines of now if you'll get ready, then she just jabs it in Cherry's arm when she's kind of when she looks away, and it is a very small sting, but it is a bit of a sting. And then she says, and there it is after just a couple seconds of injecting.
Well, if Cherry had been thinking of calling her Dr. Buttercup, all thoughts of that have left her mind because she was softly recalling curses before for fun. She is now very loudly and excitedly reciting them for all to hear. She pulls the applicator out of her arm and throws it. After, I'm assuming it was a injected and done kind of thing, right?
Yeah, you know.
Noah's got the keyboard. Sorry, guys.
Let's see, what is it? So you gain you gain 1 system strain. Okay, yeah, it's 1d8 plus.
And then she'll yell at Sarah Lloyd, "Why would you do that?"
Hey, that's the way we were trained. You distract the patient with conversation or description or something else, and then the anticipation makes it worse.
I never thought your bedside manner would be this terrible.
She
She's gonna stick her tongue out at her.
yeah, she kind of grimaces and kind of a, oh well, sorry about that, kind of doesn't seem to know exactly what to say other than kind of a, oh sorry, that's what we were told to do. And then maybe that hit on the head affected my judgment, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna go sit down.
Did you need the tourniquet?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh,
If she
she
looks past
puts
Sarah
herself over.
Lloyd, she would see Cherry angrily stomping on the applicator.
Oh yeah. I think she saw that whole scene. She was just waiting. Or who needed a tourniquet?
She would look at, she'd say, well, and she'd kind of she would she would now notice trickle of blood running down one arm, say, probably not a tourniquet, but yeah, I could use a bandage.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy. Eva doesn't have heal skill, but she can still make a check with intelligence for something that basic, right?
Yeah, you could
Okay.
do a heal check with intelligence.
Alright. Yeah, she'll do that with Sarah Lloyd. Probably tearing something off of something. Yeah.
Now, are you truly meaning to make a tourniquet?
No, Ben said it's not actually a tourniquet.
Okay, thank goodness.
Yeah. All right. With especially with the help of some pointers from Miss Lloyd as the experienced field medic here. She does a serviceable job of wrapping a bandage, which is um, the bandage roll was unfortunately pierced straight through with a bullet hole. But manages to work around that, layer the bandage enough that they get the bleeding stopped, and Sarah's arm bandages right up.
See? Told you I knew how to tie a tourniquet. Even if this isn't actually a tourniquet, but I still know how.
All right, so yeah, I guess Danielle, that would have been 4 hit points back for Cherry and 1 system strain.
All that for 4 hit points. All right.
Healing in stars is not kind.
No,
Now she's up to 7 hit points.
Eva will go and
Woohoo.
inspect Pete also.
lift is no magical healing, that's for sure.
Pete is all dinged up.
Yes, he is. Is she going to use any spare parts to patch him up?
Hang on real quick. I got something I think I...
No,
Uh-oh, where'd it go? Ah, right there. Yeah, Yeah, I think Eva will pull out a few of her parts. She does her inspection, and I mean, as Pete knows, this is calming to her. And then she sorts through her gear, her toolbox, pulls out some things, and gets to work. Says, "I have to make sure that my sugar baby doesn't get destroyed."
I'm sorry, you're
Your
what?
what?
My sugar baby. I thought I would save it as
Your
a
what?
surprise, but I mean, we're out here in the middle of the woods. Sugar baby? No, it's a hip thing that Cherry says. It means you're likable and people want to spend money on you.
Oh my stars. Without number.
I think Pete's like the animation on his eyes like just turn off for a second and like come back on. Like if you've seen like the cartoons where there's always like this sound of the eyes just like going back and forth, like what?
Yeah, like I mean,
Yeah,
you
that's
can
the
explain
internal
it,
sound
Cherry.
for Pete.
We went through a lot
What'd
of
you say?
different sugar baby options, and finally we settled on you.
Barf. I'm so done.
Cherry flees into the wilderness, never to be seen again for an hour or two.
Until she needs her gummy worms that she's left behind.
And Pete's just like, I am so confused.
Oh my. Well, yeah, all said and done. The looks like we got everybody patched up as much as we're going to patch them up. The vehicle was didn't take much more than a few dings, especially considering the number of bullet holes it already had. A few dents are no big deal. This is actually more in line with what the thing's designed to withstand anyway. But we're all ready to resume the trip.
And take your healing there, Robert.
All right.
9 HP. Nice.
What?
No.
I think- Oh no,
Yeah,
that's right. It's 10. Isn't
your-
it 10 per unit? Or
It's just your
It's
level.
your level. So
Oh, sorry.
level.
think it-
Okay.
yeah, so that puts you at what, like 18 maybe.
Yep. Math. Hey, nobody pays me to do math at 11 o'clock at night. Okay, Ben.
Hmm. Oh, as somebody put it, I guess it was yesterday. Hey, everybody's able to do arithmetic. It's not calculus or anything. But we've got everybody settled up and ready to continue. We do need still, I think, the hunt check. And we were gonna get somebody helping with that.
Zeke will help again.
Okay, Zeke's turn to help with the hunting. Okay.
Ooh. Well, it still worked.
Okay. Yeah, that'll. Let's see. This
Oop.
being the final stretch, though. Oh,
Oof.
that's Yeah, no, that-
+1.
Oh boy, man, Bo has had a really rough set of rolls tonight.
Wow. Sorry,
Um,
Ethan. You're the new target of Roll20.
Mhm.
Does Zeke want to try to alternate outcome that?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask.
I was about to say that he would need to alternate outcome his own check to pass on the help there.
So let's
I'm
do
gonna
this
just go ahead and commit the effort.
before you alternate outcome. Let's look at the numbers first, because that's a point of effort that you can use to guarantee rations.
It's true.
What are the are you willing to tell us how difficult it is for Bo? Like, can we know the odds?
Yeah, it's an 11.
Yeah. And Bo's rolling not too bad at that, but he needs to roll a 9. Yeah.
So
On the
Zeke's
dice.
already expended one effort. So if he needs to use Oracle again, then that's 2 rations that he can actually make this time.
So
Um,
it might be better just to save it and not alternate outcome and use it for the rations instead.
Yeah, because you could guarantee, basically the food and rest that 2 people would need to recover,
No.
and then
Since he's already done the check to hide them in the wheel well, is it reasonable to say he may have had the forethought to use both of them? Or 2 of them?
yeah, I'll give you a pass on having to use Oracle again to have had another hiding spot for.
Oh, I
The
see what
rations.
you mean about Oracle. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah, having used it once to foresee a place that the rations would go unnoticed, that would apply to a couple more ration packs.
Yeah, I think if that's the case, then he would just take the guaranteed rations and not try to alternate the outcome.
At
Okay.
what point do we start nicknaming Zeke something like Squirrely Boy?
Probably about the time he pulls out the what would this be? Like the 7th through 10th, maybe?
I think it would be
8th
eighth.
through 10th. 8th through 10th. Packs of rations that he had stashed for the trip. Yeah, because I think one day.
Because he did 1, then 4, then 3, and is going to be 3 more.
Yeah, 9 through 11.
Well, no, 1, 4 is 5, 3,
Noah.
8. So yeah, he'll have 11. You're right. Bananas.
Right. So yeah, he'll pull out another from another wheel well, another 3 packs of rations. And
What if a panel that was previously attached kind of like fell off in the crash and just spilled the rations inside? He's like, "Oh yeah, I took that off the other night.
Oh
the
yeah,
other
that's
day
where
I
I
put
put
them in there."
that's
Yeah, like,
actually great. I almost, just for the physical comedy of it, had Miss Lloyd, extracting herself from this pile, pull up. Is this a ration pack? Where did this come from? um, so yeah, either way is up to you, Avery.
I told you guys not to check the other wheel well.
Yeah, they maybe some have become loose in the roll, but yeah, he's able to produce another 3 packs, which I believe it'll at least cover, I guess Sarah and Cherry are a couple of the ones that took the worst beating. But it's up to you to decide who all gets the rations.
I mean, Zeke's not looking good either.
Yeah.
Well,
He's
and we
definitely
need him
okay.
to get his effort back.
That's true.
Yeah, so he definitely needs one for himself.
So Cherry and is it Miss Lloyd and Cherry that have the lowest relative hit points at this point?
Yes, it would be.
Yeah, I guess like prioritize the people who need it most.
All right. Then that will that'll cover them. The other 2, I think that just leaves Bo and Eva without food. And so in this case, I'm going to go ahead and just they're each going to take 1 system strain and not be able to recover for the night.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
um, all right, so that should take care of them. Cherry is able to get her level and hit points back, lose a system strain. Zeke does the same, and he also recovers all his effort. I think that'll put you both at 12 hit points with no system strain. And Sloyd also covers somewhat. And you have made it through. You manage, I guess, Cherry having, if I remember right, Cherry was swapping out driving with Sarah Lloyd for the rest of the day.
I hope so.
Oh, Danielle muted. I think that was the case. And going at a bit of a slower pace. And
Sorry.
Lloyd,
Yes, I was agreeing with you.
okay. Yeah, taking it a bit slower, and everyone on watch for treacherous slopes and firmer soil. Manage the rest of the night, rest of the evening, up towards safe and level ground. Get a good night's rest, at least for those of you that were able to eat, and wake up the next morning ready to enter the city.
It altered your narrative a little bit, Ben. It just doesn't make sense to me that that we would be splitting things up, like you get food, you get no food. So
Yeah, and I guess, I guess maybe I'm fine with fudging that at least narratively a little bit. I think mechanically I find that a little simpler than trying to
I'm fine with the mechanics of it. I just don't like the
ration it out.
narrative.
Yeah.
The narrative of it is the part that I have the issue with. The mechanics are perfectly
Oh,
fine,
okay.
and that's why I say
get
that
you,
I altered it by justifying it. Basically, Eva says, "No, you two, captain's orders."
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, everybody gets a little bit of something just to tide them over, keep them from going completely without. Yeah, I think I think that's fine. I think that is a little narrative alteration. Okay, now time to execute the plan.
Woohoo!
Dex, having been the one to come up with the plan and advocate for it, walk us through how this goes down, and I'll interject as necessary.
So, I do think we need to decide if we're going to do this with this ATV or if we're going to rent something else and drive up in a new vehicle. We can return this ATV, no problem, as long as we can get it back to, well, we may still be able to return it. So what would you guys prefer, new vehicle or just use this ATV that's already been...
I mean, we're already not getting the deposit back on the ATV.
That's kind of what I'm thinking there.
Mhm.
We
Ben?
didn't put any deposit on it. Sarah Lloyd rented it.
Let's say,
Well, she
I'll
ain't
just
getting that
say
deposit back either.
I
Sarah
guess it
Lloyd
should be
will,
Sarah's choice, yeah.
yeah, if it comes up, she will point out that she definitely, well, she definitely wants to return the vehicle, make sure that the vehicle gets returned regardless of the condition it's in, because having to pay for some repair or lose a deposit or whatever, however that plays out with the rental company, it's far better than having to replace the entire vehicle for the rental company.
Okay. So with that, then I think we go with the return and rent a new vehicle for the trip there, because that also lets us get one that has tinting that's maybe a little bit on the illegal side of things, right?
All right. So here's the thing. Do we have to be the ones to return it though, or could someone return it on our behalf?
Well, hang on, because the part of the plan is that you're going to be driving whatever vehicle we drive over to our ship is going to get back to where it was rented. So I'll walk through the whole plan. We go into town, we get our burgers, we return the ATV.
Okay.
Sarah Lloyd gets her whatever deposit she gets back from it, and she doesn't have to buy a new ATV. We then, assuming we go with the new vehicle, we then get a new vehicle. Meanwhile, Cherry is making contacts that she can use later. We take our new vehicle somewhere where Eva can work on it. and Eva rigs up a remote driver for the vehicle. We drive our new van over to the ship. We experience Zeke's vision. We see them standing there waiting for us, and we turn the vehicle around. Activate the driver the rigger, the drone drive. Zeke teleports us into the vehicle. Cherry drives this vehicle back to the rental place to return it. We'll have this vehicle
Okay.
out for a total of like 4 to 6 hours. The people that Cherry has favored or contacted, used her connections with her henchmen, are, unless you can think of something more interesting to do or better to do with them, are just going to be miscellaneous obstructions to try and prevent any pursuers from actually getting to the vehicle and seeing that there's nobody driving it. A garbage
Gotcha.
truck pulls out and is just blocking the lane because it's now in a J turn that it can't make. Regular Fast and Furious type
Gotcha.
stuff.
I've never seen any of those movies, but okay.
You haven't missed
Oh,
much
yeah,
except
that's
for the
classic.
first one or two, maybe 3.
Oh wait, sorry. I didn't catch a specific reference to movie series.
Oh, I don't know if I made a specific reference. I'm sure they pulled that tactic at least one point, but the garbage truck pulling out onto the street is more kind of a
Yeah, this
chase
is a genre
scene.
trope.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, sorry guys, I'm a new truck driver and I tried to make a turn and I can't figure out how to get backed up.
I actually
Oh,
think
come on.
I remember it more from movies where the protagonist is trying to herd someone down a specific way, or the antagonist is trying to herd the protagonist
Mhm.
down a specific route to, do their
Yeah,
dastardly
exactly.
deed.
Yeah, it's right in line with the, oh hey, there's construction on this little stretch of road. Sorry, you
Uh-huh.
got to take the detour. Um,
Yeah.
and I go,
And
oh,
hopefully they
fair enough.
follow the van as it's being driven away, and we can just kind of fly off while they're chasing it. If they don't take the bait, or if only half of them take the bait, because I believe there were multiple vehicles, we're still taking off as quickly as we can, as quietly as we can. And that's probably the other thing that we need Cherry's influence for is get connected with somebody at traffic control to get us a quiet authorization to take off.
All right.
Hmm.
Cherry would be willing to do that, but she will also ask that Eva buy her a really sweet drink the next time they're in town and not being chased.
Deal.
All right. Yeah, so yeah, I guess
Aye, aye, Captain. Can I turn my internet back on now?
Oh yeah, like probably yesterday.
She's just gonna see Cherry close her eyes and take a really deep breath.
Even thinks about that. Yeah, yesterday would have been fine. Do you need a moment? I thought you were gonna go on the internet.
I'm just savoring this moment a little longer, I think.
Not to exclude Bo and Pete, they also have very important things. Eva has like instructions for them to do on the ship to get it flight ready. Pete knows most of it.
Mhm.
And he probably gets like how she's planning to do things quietly. And she's got this detailed out for Bo also.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll point out that the plan includes rushing the boot up
Mhm.
and liftoff process. Part of the rushing being skipping some of the usual safety checks.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if this specific question had come up before. Flight control is not going to be super happy about that.
That's what we need Cherry for.
They would typically expect all the safety things to be done and the proper time to be taken before just lifting off and launching into the airspace. So that's a slightly more dicey thing. They're not gonna unless you do something crazy or aggressive, they're not gonna shoot you down because you lifted off, prematurely and recklessly. But you could get into a minor bit of trouble over that. Nothing that will be trip halting or anything like that.
Will Cherry be able to kind of find somebody that's willing to smooth that over for us?
I'd say it's possible that she could. I'm trying to remember what she's got. Hingekeeper right now. She's got Diplomat. Let's see, Diplomat 1. Hingekeeper 1. Does she also? Okay, she also has Starfarer 1. Yeah, I think that adds up. Yeah, I'd say that she's got a chance of smoothing things over with flight control. That will be pretty difficult, but manageable. Now
difficult, but not impossible.
Yes.
Okay. Is this one of those things that if I try it and I fail, there will be really bad consequences?
No, that's what I was trying to say. You might get in a little bit of trouble. There might be a small fine or something when you guys come back. But it's not going to be like, oh, you're under arrest or we're shooting you down.
Or, hey, you have to go to this planet that's had us under siege for a while. And oh, wait, sorry, wrong sentence.
Yeah. Hey, you violated Tabukan airspace regulations, so now you've got to go visit Tabuk to get this sorted out and do
we're sending you to Caesar.
You got to take a 3-day flight course over on Tabuk in order to waive the ticket. But no, it'd be more of a slap on the wrist kind of a consequence if she wasn't able to smooth it over. Yeah, not a oops, you accidentally punched a chicken, prepare to die kind of consequence. Because it's totally normal to just be minding your own business and then just accidentally kill a chicken. It just happens sometimes. Anyway, what were we talking about?
The plan.
Yes, the plan. So, sounds like gonna go return the ATV. Now you mentioned getting a vehicle with questionable window tinting.
Mm-hmm. As heavy as we can.
Well, you said potentially illegal, so I'm wondering, are you wanting to get a normal rental vehicle and then go get it modified to, unallowable levels of tinting, or are you wanting to just, were you maybe exaggerating, or do you just want to stick with as dark as you can legally get it?
We'll go with as dark as we can legally get it, as long as We can also do something to the windshield, dust it up, or you know, spray water on it and get all those hard water spots. As long as we can do something that makes it difficult for them at a distance to look in and see, oh, that's just a bobblehead in the driver's seat. 'Cause
Hmm.
we're gonna put some kind of a dummy in the driver's seat.
Okay, got you.
You know, a mannequin or something, or just something that looks like a head. Um, and we're not expecting it to pass a close inspection, obviously. We just
Right.
want it to last long enough that they're 3 blocks away, or better yet, all the way back at the rental before they realize we've been following a driverless car.
Okay. And so Danielle, you are committing Cherry's two henchmen to facilitating this plan.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't mind, just briefly, like coming up with names for them and maybe a vague description of their background or whatever, that would be helpful. Just whatever whatever suits you for the scenario.
Oh yeah.
And then okay, as far as zhuzhing up the window tinting, eh, well, I'm trying to think of how to do this because I don't want to get super granular with it. It's already 11:24.
I'm gonna just put
Um,
an extra spare parts towards the thing. So
well, so I'm trying to get what I'm reading between the lines here is that you want to do it, you want to make it as difficult as possible for an onlooker to determine the true nature of what's going on inside the vehicle.
Mhm.
Namely the fact that there are no people and there's just one dummy in the driver's seat. And so doing that through like window tinting alone is definitely going to attract um, unwanted attention on yourselves. Um, so maybe what we'll just do is leave it to a I guess yeah. Let's make it another unit of parts and a fixed check. Trying to decide if I want to just modify the drone. The drone thing, I think, being its own fixed check is reasonable, and I think maybe having a separate one for crafting the dummies. I'm gonna say plural. You want at least one in each seat to
Mhm.
make it remotely plausible. And yeah, each of the front seats. I mean, the back seats. Yeah, because I guess we'll say they don't. Yeah. Okay.
Ben, if it makes it easier, I can just say I have 3 spare parts. What can I do with them? How far can I make those go?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and say, and you're in the city, so you could acquire an additional. I'll say you could acquire an additional unit of spare parts, and with 4,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably two would get you a drone, a remote drone operating setup, as long as you pass the check, and then the other 2 with a passed check would get you, dummies that look like that have a little bit of movement to them that might that could fool somebody at a distance. Um, Yeah, because I think actually obscuring visibility into the vehicle enough is going to be a much riskier proposition than something you want to try, um, since you're trying to do this without getting in any legal trouble. So go ahead and give me first a fixed check for the drone setup,
All right.
and then one for the dummies.
Now, is anybody able to help me just in case I need the extra bonuses?
That is a good idea. I think somebody else could certainly help.
Would Cherry be too busy to help, like with a program check, maybe, or with a pilot, so that Eva can use her input for the drone controls?
No, I think you'd have time built in to do something like that.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have to work on this this other rental vehicle. You're gonna have to work on it for a couple hours at least anyway. So you
And
won't
this
be
is
driving
after
anywhere
everyone's also
immediately.
gotten the burgers, right?
Exactly. Yes, this will be working on. You guys have slightly altered the you've altered the lines of future probability enough that you're eating your burgers at a different time than Zeke saw in his vision. But you are still going to the same burger place and getting the same orders that Zeke remembers.
All right, I've got my two first henchies. If you're ready for it.
Um, in a couple minutes. Oh, it's 11:30.
All right, I can wait.
It's already 11:30. I feel like we shouldn't try to rush through this right at the end of the session, especially when 11:30 is supposed to be our stop time. So, Danielle, I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to keep us in suspense about the identity of your henchman that will be helping with the scenario until next time, or do you want to go ahead and get that out of the way now?
Sure, yeah. So I decided that Cherry met these two as she was kind of looking into. We're on Urala, right? Is this
Yes, you're
where?
on
Okay.
Urala.
Okay, the first time they were on Urala, she had kind of been looking into the piloting and streaming sort of overlap that Urala has, and she met these two, Shanna and Dominga, and they are
Mhm.
two sisters who specialize in streaming their racing, and similar to the pod racing that happens on the fringes, they enjoy racing in the city, much to the chagrin of the local law enforcement.
Hmm.
Um, and they have been getting their streaming off the ground. They're kind of starting out fresh. Um, and Cherry got to talking with them, and they were able to swap information and pointers and tips and stuff. And she called in a favor because she
Nice.
didn't know of anyone else who was enough of an adrenaline junkie to want to try and pull this off other than these two. Their names are Shauna and Dominga.
Shauna and Dominga. Nice. Yeah, and so yeah, I think yeah, the Vithoxian police are have certainly been busy with a lot more pressing things. They've had to let some things slide.
Yeah,
It's
for sure. And in the gap, the Urallan youth have been more than happy to step into it.
mhm. So they have,
The
and
widely known to be suppressed Urallan youth.
yes. All right. I like it. I think that's a good stopping point for us. next time we'll handle the skill checks to determine how the rigging up of the rental vehicle, the other rental vehicle goes, and how the whole plan goes down, and all that good stuff. I will go ahead and mention, let's see, we'll get our XP for the session. Congratulations on everyone surviving their ordeal in the wilderness.
Is that worth an extra XP?
Hmm. Sure, why not?
Woohoo!
By the way, if you try to look
You-
up a picture of two bikers, it's really hard to find one where they're not flipping off the camera. Didn't realize that would be so much of a struggle, but it is.
Welcome to
Yeah.
biker culture.
Yep.
No, all right, yeah, we'll say the additional XP can also serve as a tide you over, because checking the calendar, we are actually not going to be able to have a session next week, which is in one sense unfortunate. In another, I believe we're hoping that Avery will be unavailable next week anyway. If things go according to an ideal schedule
Oh yeah.
with Alyssa.
When is her due date again?
This is
Avery?
something we should maybe hold until after
Yeah, I
the
was
stream.
gonna say maybe. Yeah, that might be a little.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, not that anybody's probably gonna go digging that deep, but yeah, just in terms of.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
finally. Mm-hmm.
I was like talking. I'm like, what are you guys?
Oh,
doing?
Aw.
No, the 17th is her due date, so that's when. Next Monday.
okay.
We'll see if she comes then or late. I'm thinking late at this point, but
Why are you thinking late?
just how the conversation went with the doctor today. It's
Gotcha.
all signs point to not yet.
All right. Well,
All right.
then, but yeah, so we'll definitely not have a session on the 17th. We will plan to have one on the 24th, though, and because we will see about whether or not Avery's able to join us on the 24th. Also, let's go ahead and do our faves for the night. Let's see, it would be Ethan first this time. Ethan, do you have your fave ready?
Oh, everybody not starving to death.
That is a nice thing, isn't it?
You didn't have to make that sentence so foreboding, Ben.
Mhm.
Like you're having to convince yourself that it's a nice thing, but nobody starved.
Like my best efforts.
We're happy everyone lived. We're happy everyone lived. Robert, what about you?
Well, I had one that I had to change it. The sugar baby reference scene in some of the chat roleplay of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to catch up on the chat roleplay later, because I think they were quite literally like a few pages worth of story that went on behind the, or not behind the scenes, but I guess maybe in the sidebar as I described it. Avery.
Um, yeah, definitely just Zeke continuing to pull food out of anywhere. That was fun. Some of the quotes got me too.
Oh yeah, like what?
Honestly, Noah was very vocal, so his
Oh my
astute
word, yeah.
observations were,
Those are really cute.
really critical to our success tonight.
Very much.
I have to agree. I raised that boy right.
I mean, his take on the human condition just really, it's going to change the way I think about the rest of my night.
uh, yeah, kind of having a hard time getting down. I think, yeah, it's hard to think how to put it exactly. I think maybe just and trying to put it succinctly. Uh, maybe the crew banding together in hardship. And I liked how everybody's going to share rations and everyone having a job to do and trying to help each other do the hunting and do the navigation, and Zeke exhausting himself psychically to keep people sustained in his way as well. Just pulling out all the stops. You guys making it out pretty well, all things considered. For a group of people that ended up on a multi-day wilderness trip with no extra rations, you came out remarkably well.
Cherry's taking mental notes to pack less gummy worms, more actual food next time.
Pack for the worst. Yeah, everybody's thanking Zeke's lucky stars that he decided to stow/stash rations in every conceivable nook and cranny of the vehicle and his pack before embarking on the trip.
I did think it was really funny when after the van flipped and a panel popped off and it's like more rations and he's just like, oh yeah, that's where I put that.
Yeah, yeah. I'll throw in there. I think Zeke's precognitive prowess is how I would put it. I think that deserves another shout out too. So yeah, he used every single one of his precognitive abilities this session.
Good job.
Multiple times in some cases.
I think there's only 3, so
Right.
not
Yeah,
to
so-
redirect that, but
Yeah. But no, it's cool because typically the psychic powers tend to just kind of, maybe 1 or 2 will come up as they happen to be useful, but really, really put those to work tonight. Danielle.
I think Cherry's pep talk to Eva, and then which happened in the Roll20 chat. So,
Mm.
and then also getting brained by the nav comp.
Gotta put that 5 dexterity to use somewhere.
Yeah, that was I definitely enjoyed the way that the narration of that event played out. A bit of role playing because I think it helped to break up a little bit of the monotony of rolling a bajillion skill checks tonight. Nothing to break up the monotony like getting brained by a nav comp. Snap her out of her kind of depressive fog of being crowded in the vehicle for days, like getting beat up and tossed around. Anywho, Dex, that brings us down to you.
Cherry's. I have to double up on Cherry's pep talk with Eva because it was pretty inspiring. If you guys didn't read it, go read it. And also Pete's reaction to being called Eva's sugar baby, because I've been saving that for weeks.
Yeah, you have
I
been
bet you
sitting
have.
on that for a long time.
You said it was Eva's sugar baby?
Yeah, Cherry
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Pete's reaction to Pete being called Eva's sugar baby.
AOIB's sugar baby.
Yeah, boy. You said AO. Did I miss
AOIB.
No, she just said the letters. You spelled it right, man. You good.
That's how Bo calls her.
Got you. Got you.
Says AOIB.
I forgot that. Oh man. Yeah, it took me a minute after you started going off of that. I was like, wait, where is this coming from? Why is she just randomly? And then I remember, I was like, oh yeah.
There's a whole conversation about like you probably just need a sugar baby.
Right.
But she misunderstood the conversation to mean like you just need somebody to shower with presents, and that friend you choose, that's your sugar baby.
Yeah.
I don't know if she so much misunderstood it as took the meaning she wanted from it.
Oh man.
It's hard to tell with Eva sometimes.
Yeah. Good times. Well, that will wrap the session for tonight. We will be off next week, but we will see everyone back on the 24th.
Alrighty.
Thank you for playing tonight.
We might still be going with Roll20 for like a couple more minutes, but it was fun, guys.
Oh, is that what you mean?
It's
I mean, I need to
it's
get to
just
bed. It's 11:45. Sorry.
silly. No,
Yeah.
you're good. I didn't know if
Pete
Dex wanted
signing
to say
off.
something. I meant literally like 1 or 2 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else with Eva there.
Good night, Robert.
Hey,
Sweet.
Robert.
Night,
Good night,
y'all.
Robert.
Noid.
Yeah, I think Eva's embarrassed out. She's realized what she got herself into.
That word doesn't mean what I thought it meant.
Pretty much.
Now I'm feeling embarrassment.
What is this? Oh, spoon to a moon. What? Oh no.
I'm waiting for Eva to finally one day realize that she's basically just reading smut romance novels and not.
Yeah, it's like, is she just like mentally filtering out that stuff, or is she like actually actively skimming over it because, oh well, that's not the most important part of the book. Let's get past
Miss Moons has already given instructions on this multiple times. I don't know why she keeps insisting on inserting these tutorials into the rest of her.
This is just a little fan service, but the real meat is, this other stuff, which, when in fact it's written to be exactly the opposite.
Is the 10% of the book with actual plot.
I think I want to say that, and I said this before, I think, that Jennifer Moons does actually write, like, good reality-based stuff, but not all of it. She knows her stuff, and she can write it. Know what you write what you know.
Mm-hmm.
But she pads it with so much Romancing the Stone and Indiana Jones stuff that it's tiny little nuggets of wisdom, and Eva stumbles on them now and then with her note checks, actually pulls something useful out of them, but otherwise she's just filling her mind with this purple
Romance
prose.
novel stuff with her prose.
Purple prose, are you familiar with the term?
No,
Oh.
don't worry about it.
I'm
it
not
something
even
that I shouldn't
truly
Google?
familiar. If I understand right, my limited understanding is it's basically just calling a nice way of calling something smut prose, or smut
Oh, I
writing.
was thinking it's that it's like the overwrought kind of writing. The thing that you're gonna
Yeah,
get. From.
I think so. But
Oh,
in
okay, yeah.
You
in
know what
that
would be
direction.
really great though is that Jennifer Moons is a pseudonym for someone else's name, and it's someone who's actually like a star captain out there somewhere, and at some point Eva gets to meet her or something.
And that's how she knows about surviving in the wilderness and fixing up the engine with a wow, I can't even think, a mouthful of gum and a tin foil wrapper.
Yeah, so because see what had happened was this author really wanted to write some cool, survival dramas
Useful stuff.
and stuff that was fictionalized but had a lot of this cool, wilderness survival and daring do and all that. And but the publisher that she was able to get with was like, nobody's gonna be interested in that stuff. Um, Lily Nuda's culture, permeating the sector, people want something spicier than that. So kind of got slotted into writing more romance and
Spicy
but
stuff, yeah.
still trying to, okay, well, this is what it's got to be to make it big. Still, kind of
They can slip
their
in
own
some of
rebellion
this
is, yeah,
stuff.
trying to slip it in where they can, try to, wrap
Yeah.
the less interesting to her romantic stuff in what she
Yeah.
really cares about.
Hey, Ben. Oh, go ahead, Dex.
I was just gonna say, this sounds exactly like what I've been told it's like to be a published or trying to publish writer that isn't a huge name already. Basically,
You betcha.
you get told what your book is about. You don't tell them what your book is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they decide what the market needs right now, what their viewership is or their readership is going to want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
It's matching the trends.
I
Ben,
almost.
can I give you a compliment?
Sure.
I legitimately, when you had Sarah Lloyd walk over and was like talking like, "Oh, so you ever had one of these before?" And she's like calmly explaining what's going to happen to Cherry. I was like, man, I really didn't expect Sarah Lloyd to be like this, like calm and gentle. I really just expected her to like stab it into Cherry when Cherry wasn't looking. And then you did that, and it literally like took me by surprise. But I was just like, yes, this feels right. This is exactly how that would happen.
I'm glad.
I
was
also
hoping I could
feel
pull
like
that
it's going to turn into Sarah Lloyd threatening to stab her with a lift EpiPen, whatever, next time.
off.
Like if she's being like reckless or something, it's careful now. You don't want to get hurt. You don't want to have another dose of lift, do you? Like,
Yeah, it may like I
don't
get
want
the
me to have to
visual,
doctor you up, do you?
right? I get a visual of like, even though it's more sci-fi-fied than this, I get the picture of her just like pulling out a syringe and like flicking the tip as she pushes it to the top, like Hook her up, Buttercup.
Oh my word. Yes, throw the Buttercup name back at Cherry. She would just be like, I hate you so much.
Yep. Like, all right. Bend over, touch your toes.
Oh my goodness.
And on that,
Well,
I think
thank
I
you
should
for-
stop streaming.
I was gonna say thanks for keeping it PG with stabbing the arm, but
Hey, they do that to kids. It's very PG.
oh my word. They
About
don't do that.
Closing the
basic
stream.
happened to me.